Hello fellow book nerds, Emmy Walker here to do my September book haul. I did get a couple of books in August which I did not show you, though you've actually seen them I think a couple of times, at least once for one of them, but I'm going to tack them on here because it was silly for me to do a whole video just for 2 books that you've technically already seen, but I'll at least officially haul them today. Now, I don't intend to buy any more books. I know I say that every time I do a haul, it's not even the middle of September yet. But I went a little bit crazy yesterday at Half Price Books, and I spent a little bit more money at Barnes & Noble a few days before that, so hopefully I will not buy any more books this month, because I can't spend any more money on books. Yeah, watch that happen. Anyway, so today I have 17 books to show you, woohoo! So let's just dive right on in. Now, for most of these, I don't know a whole lot about them, which, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I like to go into a book with knowing as little as possible about a book before I read it. I am a terrible judge the book by a cover kind of person. Not always. I definitely go on recommendations of other people, and a lot of these are that too, so it's just a kind of a toss-up here. First, I'm going to go off and show you the ones that I got in August. The first one you've seen me show before, but that is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers, and I got this right at the beginning of August. I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd day, because I got it specifically for a readathon. And I also did a review for this one here, which I believe should already be up, so if you're interested in watching, feel free to do that. The other book I got was through Owlcrate, and that was Trouble is a Friend of Mine by Stephanie Tromley. And again, you've seen this one during my Owlcrate unboxing, which again is up for the watching if you want to see what else I received in the Owlcrate for August. So I picked up 5 books from Barnes & Noble on my trip there, and I'm very excited about all of them, more particularly the last 3 that I'll show you, so yeah, be excited for me. Anyway, so I forget her name and it's going to drive me nuts, and I'm sorry about it, but I think her channel name is Novels and Nonsense. I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but she talks about Robin Hobb a lot, and she really seems to enjoy her, especially this series, and she's convinced me to pick it up, and that is, so this is Robin Hobb, this is Fool's Assassin. I believe this is the first book, and yes it is, in the Fitz and Fool trilogy, so I hope to get into this. I've been trying to read more like high fantasy books. I read a lot of young adult fantasy, but I want to get more into the higher aspect of them, and if she really enjoys it, I'm sure I will too. She likes a lot of the same books I do. This next one here is Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini, and this was one that they were doing a Goodreads giveaway. They've been doing it for a while. I think like every couple of months or so it'll pop up as like a giveaway. And I remember when I first saw it, I read the plot or the summary, but I have absolutely no idea what it actually is about at this point here. I just remember really wanting to win it and never having won it, but then when I went to, the bookstore, I ended up finding it, so I just picked it up myself. This next book here, I'm so excited it's finally out. I feel like it has been years since I read the first one, but it's only been, well, it's been at least 2 years since I read the first one, but it's been way too long. Anyway, so that is The Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, and this is the second book in the Diviners. I don't know if it's going to be a series or a trilogy, but it just says a Diviner's novel. So there's that. It could just be a duology for all I know. Clearly I do a lot of research. But anyway, I really enjoyed the first one. It had a really great creepy feel to it, and I'm hoping this one has the same feel to it. I'm very excited for this one. So this next book I picked up, I thought was the final book in the series, book 6. But it turns out that, according to Amazon, it is the penultimate book. It is the next to last book. There's still one more book coming out. And while I am very excited to be able to continue on in this world, I just wanted to be done. I wanted the series to be done. So I'm a little bit torn between my feelings for having to wait another year for another book. Anyway, so that is The Power of 10, or The Fate of 10, excuse me, The Fate of 10 by Pittacus Lore, aka James Frey. I know there's a lot of bit of controversy surrounding the James Frey thing, but by the time that I figured out all the stuff about him being a huge putthead, I had already invested myself into, I think, like 4 of these books, and I was already too far gone to hate the author. And the final book I got up at Barnes & Noble, and probably my favorite buy of the year. No, it won't be my favorite buy of the year. It'll be my second favorite buy of the year. My favorite buy of the year will be Winter when it finally comes out, which I hear is supposed to be like 800 pages. 800 pages! Oh my gosh, that's a lot of pages. And again, it's another thing I'm kind of torn out, over. Like, I want to keep in this world for as long as possible, but 800 pages? Holy moly. Anyway, so that book is The Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, and this is book 4, I think, in the series. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, book 4 in the Throne of Glass series, so hooray! I heard from other people that it it's better if you have read The Assassin's Blade before you read this one here, so I have not picked this one up yet. I'm still currently getting through Assassin's Blade, which is hard because I don't really care for Selena. I care more for the other characters, which is funny. I like Selena now more than I like her in Assassin's Blade. She's more of a snot. She's still a snot in these books, but she's not quite as much of a snot. I think her time in the work camps kick some of that out of her. But anyway, so I'm trying to get through Assassin's Blade first before I dig into this one. Next up are going to be all the books I picked up at Half Price Books yesterday, and we'll start off with 2 Dr. Seuss books. It's The Cat in the Hat and then Dr. Seuss's ABCs. I actually already owned this one here, but my son decided to rip it apart, so I couldn't read it. You know, he's still learning how to be nice to books. But I ended up going and finding a small, like a pocket copy of it, but it wasn't the same rhymes. They cut out certain things, and I had this one memorized. And I couldn't just change what I memorized, so I ended up finding this at Half Price Books very happily. Next up is the 11th book in the How to Train Your Dragon series. This one is How to Betray a Dragon's Hero, and this is by Cressidia Cowell. I think I have all of them except for maybe 3 or 4 of them. I'm still missing 7, 8, and like 12 or something. I can't remember exactly. But so this is just adding to the How to Train Your Dragon series. Next, I picked up 2 more Roald Dahl books, again for my son's collection and for my own. But the first one is the Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then I got The Witches, which I didn't know until, like, I'd seen the movie The Witches, and I had heard of this book, The Witches, but I had no idea that they were the same, like, it was based, like, the movie was based off of this book, and it was only until I saw, like, the pictures of, like, the mice and stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen The Witches. It's really creepy. It still gives me nightmares to this day. I hate watching it, but it was such a great movie with Angelica Houston and stuff. If you ever, you know, want a creepy movie to watch that's like older, terrible graphics, that's a movie to pick up. But anyway, yeah, so I had no idea, and I'm really excited to actually read it, and, you know, yeah. Next up, I picked up Deenie by Judy Blume, and I found out recently that I'm going to be having a girl, and I figured that this would be a good book to give to her or read to her as she gets a little bit older, and I can read her at bedtime as I do with my son. So I've actually never read Deenie, which is terrible. I can't remember ever reading Judy Blume as a child. I don't know if it was just I wasn't into it or what. I always read like the Nancy Drew, Boxcar Children, Babysitter's Club type of books. I never read any Judy Blume that I can remember, but I don't even remember anything about the other books either. I just know that I read them, so who knows, maybe I did read this one. Either way, it'll be fun to read it with her when she gets a little bit older and is getting longer bedtime stories. Then I picked up Messenger by Lois Lowry, and this is the 3rd book in the Giver Quartet. I recently finished Gathering Blue and found out that it was a companion, but this book, I believe, is the next book continuing on with the characters from The Giver, if I'm reading correctly. Next up is Holicity by Ransom Riggs, and I did read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Like I said, I read it a while ago. I mean, he's coming out with a 3rd book this month, so it's obviously been a while since this book has come out, but anyway, I finally need to get on it, and then I can read his last one, which I honestly can't remember the title of right now, but I really enjoy his writing, and it's very creepy, and it's one of those books. Miss Peregrine's Home was one of those books that, like, I was reading it on the porch in the dark, and I was afraid to turn my back to the darkness. It's just it had a very creepy feel until you get to a certain point, and then it just kind of made aware of what's going on, and then, but I love a good creepy book. These last 3 books are all by the same author. The first 2 I'm reading based off of a recommendation I heard through, I think, Peruse Project. Reagan over at Peruse Project. It's a while ago I watched this video, but anyway, so the author is Chima. What's her name? Cinda William Chima. And so the first book is The Warrior Heir, and then the second book is The Wizard Heir. It's another series I have no idea what's about, or maybe it's a trilogy, but either way, but it's another thing I really don't know anything about. I just remember hearing good things about it and wanting to get into it. And then the other book by Cinda Williams Chima is a different series. I think it's the Seven Realms trilogy novel. This is book 2 though. They didn't have book 1, but I'm taking a chance and thinking I'm going to enjoy this as well. So, you know, that's bitten me in the butt before. Hopefully it won't happen again. So there you have my September and slightly smaller August book haul. Let me know down below if you've read any of the books I've mentioned and you think I should start on any of them sooner than the others, or if you want to read the books with me, if you want to join me in like a buddy read or something like that. I can't promise I'll be a very good buddy reader, but I would still enjoy reading them with you if I could find the time to do so. I tend to, if I ever get buddy reads, if I ever get buddy reads, I try to make that my priority over anything else. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I will see you later, book nerds!